And with pregame routine, well, look, he can impact the game in so many ways. DA, thank you. And now the Lakers starting group. Green and LeBron at the 2 and the 3. Looney out there with Howard. And it's Paul in at the point. And for the Knicks, Porter is out there with Anthony. Then there's Spencer Dinwiddie. Then it's Mitchell Robinson. And it's Kennard in at the 2 guard. And the GOAT conversation. LeBron has said his motivation is to surpass Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time. Greg, what do you think he needs to do to bolster his case?
I think for the naysayers, the obvious answer is more rings. You look at the other numbers, including those 8 consecutive finals appearances, LeBron is in the discussion.
And the first one at the line is good. And the bright lights of L.A. perhaps too much for some players. But you know what, Greg? Not for LeBron James.
This guy thrives in the spotlight. The Lakers crafting a roster to satisfy his championship ambitions. Off the court, the City of Angels perfect for maximizing his business aspirations.
Dinwiddie, the bounce pass. Outside Robinson. Outside Anthony. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Opening night, Brent, always exciting. Technically, every team is undefeated with a lot of hope.
You're just fired up. I mean,
I am fired
The
up.
NBA never stops, Kevin. We know this, right?
Isn't it great, though? I'm so glad it doesn't stop.
Well, the offseason is just absolutely ridiculously exciting.
So fun.
So much movement and hope for franchises that, have struggled for a long time. And here we go. Hope springs eternal. It's opening night.
Oh, such a field shot there. The floater.
Knicks on offense. It's a 3-point game. Pass to Porter. And here is Anthony. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
A Melo special right there, playing in the mid-range. It's pretty much been his home his entire career.
Outside, Green. Paul outside. Dinwiddie with the steal. And here we go. Dinwiddie heading to the hoop. Flushes it down to finish the break.
Great effort and gets in a little razzle-dazzle at the end of that one.
Yeah, why not? Show a little creativity, get inside, move that ball around, just make sure you score.
Here's Looney. LeBron outside. Back to Looney. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
There's no way that LeBron James is not going to come in and dictate the tempo of this game. Just keeps his eyes up and drops a nice dime there.
Now, here is Robinson. He's coming off a 10-point game against Atlanta. The shot by Anthony, no good.
Now that's just enough defensive pressure on him to throw off that shot. I bet he gets a good look at it next time and hits it.
Lobbed up there for Howard. Lays it in off the pretty alley-oop.
This is why you love Chris Paul running your offense. Just move without the ball, find some space, and the ball will find you.
Well, the Knicks had a lot of turnover trading for expiring contracts. They did what they could to accommodate the wishes of a lot of vets.
Yeah, the problem right now for the Knicks is they're not inviting to a lot of free agents, and that's really where they're trying to make their play. So fascinating over the course of the past decade that New York has not been able to attract the top-tier talent. So building through the draft, Coach Fizdale hopeful that they'll land a star one way or another.
Here's Dinwiddie following the basket by Chris Paul. Anthony left side. Shoots. Good, and the assist goes to Robinson. Anthony's got 5 now.
Carmelo really has great footwork down low, showing off the feel right there when he gets near the paint.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
Well, Fizdale, part of those great teams in Miami as an assistant coach with Eric Spoelstra. He coaches with a lot of fire and enthusiasm, is very involved emotionally in what his team does on a daily basis, and it's why a lot of these young players are gravitating towards his coaching style.
So New York ends up going with the new group. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Jordan, he's checked in for Howard. Thompson comes in for Kevon Looney. Josh Hart, he's checked in for Danny Green. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Paul. And New York hoped that Fizdale's likability would be a factor in free agency.
Yeah, I think it's going to help the Knicks as they move forward here. Try to...
What a jam!
Wow, fans loving that right there.
What a jam!
Nice. Sometimes LeBron just likes to take it all out on the rim. That time on display.
Brown the pass to Turner. Poke loose. Rondo with the steal. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks will take it the other way. Knicks trail by 5. 1:04 left in the first. There's Cornette, and they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
Are you asking me, GA? I'm not sure.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. And here is Los Angeles now. They beat the Knicks during their last encounter in New York.
Yeah, really ratcheted up the pressure in their last matchup, getting steals and just creating havoc defensively.
The turnover margin was well within their favor, and you have to point to that ferocious D they played as the biggest factor in that win.
Brown against Rondo. Brown the pass to Cornette. Back to Brown. 6 to shoot. And it's Turner off the drive. The shot goes down and it gets this game back to even.
Good control there from Evan Turner. He has the ball on the string. It's nice handles from the small forward.
And here is James. 29 points for him last game against Houston.
And guys, the other thing that he did well was just facilitate the offense, pass the ball around beautifully in that one. Seriously put on a passing clinic.
Los Angeles shooting their third free throw attempt of the game.
Yeah, when Rondo gets motivated, and we've seen that now for a good stretch, he's as valuable as it gets.
6 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Here's James. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Lakers lead by 1. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. LeBron James is the all-time leader in playoff field goals made, and he had this to say about his ability to nail clutch shots.
I always feel like I got it. I always feel like I got in the clutch, no matter.
And you know, Greg, that's the type of confidence you got to have.
The words of a leader. James has proven time and time again that he's dangerous in late game situations.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second quarter of play here on Noche Latina. Valanos. And from what we've seen so far from the Lakers, guys, what are your thoughts?
Well, pounding the boards is one way to gain an advantage. They simply owned the glass in that first.
Well, if you get physical out there, you can control the glass, and that helps you to control the pace of the game.
So on the floor for the Lakers to start this second quarter, DeAndre Jordan is out there with Thompson. Then it's LeBron James. Then it's Rajon Rondo. And it's Hart in at the 2-guard position. Barrett, no good.
That's not going to make you a favorite target of your teammates. They'll think twice about feeding you if you're going to keep missing layups.
Rondo passes to James. Rondo against Turner. 5 to shoot. Rondo with a clean look finds himself wide open and drills it.
Yeah, that's a creative pick and roll right there as Rondo is just waiting and toying and puppeting the defense.
Turner looking around. Pass to Cornette. No good from outside.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
And once James takes off towards the basket, the defense really has no chance to react and or stop him. What determination from the King there.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. Brent, certain players make everyone around them better. Talk about some of those guys who will do that at the very highest level.
The interesting thing about today's game, Kevin, is it's not always the point guard position. I think in the past we thought 2 ways. The point guard, who has the ball in his hands, finding guys for them to make shots. And then through the 80s and 90s, it was low post players who were getting double teams and initiating some offense.
Yes.
Nowadays, it's a lot of wing guys. And it's guys like Kawhi Leonard, it's guys like LeBron James, Kevin Durant. Throw Draymond Green in there with his ability to pass the ball. Jokic in there with his ability to pass the ball. It's all happening around the three-point line and getting into the gap. So they look a little bit different, the initiators, in today's game.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Kevin, before he became a head coach in Memphis and New York, David Fizdale spent 8 seasons as an assistant under Eric Spoelstra in Miami. Now, Spo said he's a brilliant basketball mind that has exceptional gold standard level communication skills. One of the most talented coaches I've been around. So, Kevin, Fizdale is highly respected.
David, he sure is. Great reputation. Now getting a shot. Thank you so much.
You have to get in front of Dwight Howard. When he has that kind of room to soar, he's going to finish alley-oops with style.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
Giving up a run here. Can they turn it around?
Hard to say right now. At this point, I've seen the coaches run through 2 or 3 iterations of defense. Is there a fourth? I'm not sure.
Now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball. That's tipped. And here we go. Paul heading to the hoop. Lays it in off the breakaway. And now an 11-point Laker lead.
Well, great instincts of Paul there. Solid at creating havoc in the open court and then coming up with a steal.
Outside Porter. Over LeBron. Porter, no luck.
And they just can't find a way to end this thing. Nothing falling right now.
Frustration seems to be mounting here, and you can see not just in their faces, but right now in their quick and hurried shot selection.
Dinwiddie passes to Robinson. Here's Anthony. Trying to end the drought. The layup missed. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way. Paul's shot is off. And so it's Dinwiddie with it. He'll bring it up for New York. Trailing by 13. Outside Robinson. Anthony left side. No good on that one. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Here's Paul. And the layup falls. Paul's got 6 points in the quarter.
Yeah, for an undersized player, Chris Paul's a pretty good finisher around the rim. Certainly knows all the angles.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
And they're allowing too many points in the paint. Coach is going to let them hear about it.
Yeah, coach knows that. They know that. In the timeout, they're going to hear about it, make the adjustment.
For the Knicks, Luke Cornett, he's checked in for Anthony. Barrett comes in for Porter. And it's Bruce Brown in for Kennard. And then for Los Angeles, DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Howard. Tristan Thompson comes in for Looney. And it's Josh Hart in for James. Passes to Barrett. Dinwiddie outside. Shot clock at 5. Hits the three-point bomb. Dinwiddie's got 5 points so far.
And they may be leaning a little too heavily on the three-pointer when there are better looks to be had inside.
Dinwiddie against Paul. Down low, Thompson. Can't hit that one.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough.
And so it's Los Angeles, enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. Right back after this break. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. We've reached halftime of our first regular season game.
I'm swimming.
I thought you thought maybe the first half was going swimmingly. Ernie Johnson, Kenya's the Jet. A competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. They were able to squeeze ahead by the end of the period with just a 1-point lead. The second quarter was all theirs. Major uptick in offensive and defensive intensity as they did their jobs with precision, now sitting on a comfortable 12-point lead at the half. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what'd you think?
CP3, still showing people he's the man. As competitive as they come, crafty as they come. One of the great playmakers in this game who turned himself into a great shot maker also.
And
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. It's been a clinic by Chris Paul.
Really impressed with the shot selection through the first half, just taking what he can get from the defense.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the first half and wondering, did he take a low percentage shot? Everything efficient.
They've got Anthony, Spencer Dinwiddie out there with Kennard. Then it's Porter. And it's Robinson in at the 5 down low. That's the 5 for New York right now. Ball against Dinwiddie. And he gets the bucket. 12 points for Chris Paul.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
Outside, Robinson. Kicks to Dinwiddie. Fires for 3. And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That is his first foul of the game. Lakers leading by 12. And for those of you turning in, we're about a minute into the second half. Howard finds Paul. The pass to James. And the wide open shot from Green. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. LeBron's got 3 assists now in this one. Dinwiddie surveying the floor. LeBron against Porter. It's stolen and out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession.
All right, a chance to see stats for Paul. Great showing for him last season. Last season, he averaged 15 points a game, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds. And it says a lot that when we see numbers like this from him, we aren't even shocked. He's that good.
Yeah, we really have just grown to get used to his greatness, and that's the level for him that he's on right now.
Porter kicks to Turner. Shot clock at 6. Teardrop shot. Robinson controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Always better to be lucky than good when it comes to offensive rebound. And unless you're as good as he is, then those tip-ins are all about skill.
Here's Looney, covered by Anthony. And Howard with the stuff. Especially in the playoffs, Brent, so much can change when a player gets in a foul trouble. You see the league ever modifying that foul out rule?
I know that they do that in the summer league where you can stay on the court for 10 fouls as elimination, but it's a technical every time. I don't see the league doing that. I think it's good for the game so that star players or meaningful players, ones that play specifically on defense, they have to have responsibility for what it is that they're doing on the floor. And if they're overly aggressive, you should be penalized for playing that way.
Pass to Robinson. Here's Anthony. The kick out to Porter. Over LeBron. Porter, no luck.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Here's Green. And that one goes long. Knicks trail by 18. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Turner against Rondo. Outside Porter from downtown. They grab their own miss. And then Robinson slams it in.
That is a product of pure effort, guys.
I agree, and that's nothing new coming from him, GA. He loves going to work on the rebounding, going to work on the board.
Stick with fundamentals there. Shot goes up, box out, or he'll destroy you.
Timeout called the Lakers. Checked in for Robinson. Jake Layman comes in for Carmelo Anthony. It's checked in for Luke Kennard. And it's Bruce Brown in for Otto Porter Jr. The Lakers also making some changes. Jordan, he's checked in for Howard. Tristan Thompson comes in for Kevon Looney. And it's Josh Hart in for Danny Green. Turner passes to Cornette. Up top, Brown. He kicks it to Barrett. The tray. It's hauled in by DeAndre Jordan. And here are the Lakers. They're on a 12-4 run right now. Here's Hart. And he uses the glass on the layup. Hart's got his first basket.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
Yeah, feels like Christmas right now, just gift wrapping points.
Pass to Barrett. Over Hart. Barrett, no good.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
LeBron kicks to Rondo. I got ball. Lets the three fly. Good if it goes. Can't get it to fall. And so it's Los Angeles controlling the game and finishing the quarter with a 20-point lead. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with his feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
That's what great passing will do for you right there, dissecting the defense with that play.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And on the court for the Lakers to start the fourth. Chris Paul is out there with Rajon Rondo. Then there's Tristan Thompson. Then it's Jordan. And it's James in at the three. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Here's Dinwiddie, and the rejection by LeBron.
LeBron using his length that time perfectly. When he's in the area, you can't throw up anything lazy.
How many times have...
Hello. DA flip. The players love it. Thank you, David. So the opening lineup for the Heat, they've got Adebayo. Iguodala out there with Dragic. Then there's Rudy Gay. And it's Butler in at the small forward position. And for the Trailblazers, McCollum the 2 and Hood the 3. John Henson out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Lillard in at the point guard.
They say there are no easy finishes in the NBA, but that shouldn't be easy. One of the game's elite scorers and closers, Damian Lillard. With the game on the line, you know what time it is. It's Dame time. He's not an easy man to stop when he's attacking the basket. The D doing everything he can.
No good from Dragic. The Blazers on offense. Deep. And it's Damian Lillard with the 3. Lillard's got the first 3 points of the night up on the board for the Trailblazers. Chris, you talk about degree of difficulty. Damian Lillard takes and makes some incredibly tough shots.
You know, Kevin, the percentages don't do him justice. I mean, off the dribble, contested, from deep. Lillard is always a threat.
Poor design there defensively. They know he's a knockdown shooter from that spot.
Oh, yeah, that's one of his go-to spots. I mean, you have to pressure him in that mid-range area.
For Miami, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Iguodala outside. Here's Butler. That one's not going to go. So the Trailblazers will take it the other way. It's a victory here for the home team. Last time these guys met.
Yeah, and they picked up the win in their last game against this club, and really it was a parade to the free throw line.
Well, it tells you a lot about who's the more aggressive team. I mean, they should have that same exact attitude tonight.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you had to bring much faster help than that.
Now, here's Dragic. 11 points last game. Count the basket.
That's just great touch. The teardrop, well, that's all about feel.
Lillard dishes to McCollum. Back to Lillard from deep. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. That's now 8 points for Lillard. And the official start of the season, Chris. Is there any opening day for you that sticks out in the many years you've played the NBA?
One opening game, and I don't remember who we played, but I know it was with Allen Iverson. And AI and I had meetings before the season, and we were talking about just how much we wanted to win. We knew we were coming up on the end of our careers, or I remember never entering a preseason with so much hope, because I knew that he was in, I knew that I was in, and we knew that we both wanted it so bad. So I think we both scored 30 or did something crazy like that. I don't remember, but coming out with him that preseason was so special, because I knew we were going to set the tone for how our team was going to play, and we were engaged that game.
McCollum outside. Put on the wing. Over Butler. Jimmy Butler comes up with the rebound.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Gets the pass to Butler. Kicks it out to Iguodala. 6 on the shot clock. And Henson sends it back. They retain possession. Dragic against the bucket.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
And so it's McCollum. He'll bring it up for the Portland Trailblazers. It's a 3-point game. So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
And the Blazers, one of the best offenses in the league. I mean, their guards can make most any shot. And they've got some glass eaters to chase down any misses.
Hickey's checked in for Gay. Jones comes in for Butler. Robinson's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And Hero subbed in for Goran Dragic. Now here's Šarić. A 24-point outing in their last game against Memphis.
And not only that, I mean, if you think about it, he dominated the boards. His energy was incredible. He never stopped working. And that's a perfect setup. Solid screen, defender can't avoid it. Opens up a clear path to the bucket.
Portland shooting their first free throw of the game right now.
And they shot 81% from the line last season as a team. So you really can't find fault with what they're able to do there.
What's up?
There's 42 seconds left to play here in the first. Here's Hero, covered by Mills. And the rejection by Collins.
This is the defense Collins brings to the table. Excellent at knowing when to go after blocks.
And Mills kicks to Collins. McCollum with the ball. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Over Robinson. Top of the key jumper, no good. And so it's Damian Lillard making things happen for Portland. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We come back right after this. The leadership mantle, something that Damian Lillard welcomes. He talked about what that means to him.
A lot of responsibility. When things go bad, you know, people are going to look to you first. You know, they're going to point the finger at you first. And when things go well, they're going to give you the credit. So I think it's just a balance of those two things, you know, being willing to be that guy and being excited about it. I think you got to have fun with it.
Right on the money as always. Lillard has excelled in that leadership role.
Yeah, I mean, he plays with so much confidence and composure, but also it's the way he includes his teammates and gets to know them as individuals that makes him a franchise player.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And for Portland guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Just stretching out the floor in that first, they had the defense scrambling.
Or just wearing them out. I mean, when you space the floor like this, the defense has to run and expend energy.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter to play. And for Miami, look at who they've got out there. In the middle, it's Olynyk and Adebayo. Hero out there with Robinson. And it's Jones in at the 3, the small forward. And it's the Trailblazers with the ball. The Heat getting the bucket. Šarić passes to Trent. And the 3 off target. Miami trailing. And Bam Adebayo. He just plays with so much energy when he's on the floor.
Boy, he is ferocious on both ends of the floor. Great energy player who can finish in the paint with the best of them. Very quick on his feet and can cover a lot of ground for a player his size.
Mills can't hit.
And that would have been a big 3 if he drained it, answering back for the triple at the other end.
Right side Robinson. Here's Adebayo. Good, and the assist goes to Robinson. Adebayo's got the lead up to 4 now for the Heat.
Yeah, and they're starting to warm up from the field this quarter.
Robinson against McCollum to stop the run. It's tipped. For Miami, they've gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. Here's Hero. And the rejection by Collins. And they're moving it up. Here's Mills. And laid in to finish the break. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Here's Hero. Shoots over Mills. They get it back. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket. And the Heat lead by 2.
No, I love that aggressiveness from Olynyk. I mean, he can create his own offense. I mean, we all know that. But that time, with a little cleanup work.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up. The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
They get it back. Adebayo, and he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
And that's why you never stop working in the paint at either end of the floor.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And from the line a season ago, 73%.
And with this summer signing of Jimmy Butler, the Miami Heat demonstrating they still can lure star talent to South Beach.
The Heat back on the rise. The Butler signing sets the stage for the summer of 2021 when they should have the cap space to sign another max player.
And when Gay is nearby, you have to be aware of his vertical. He really rocks the rims on these jams.
1:11 left now here in the second. Mills passes to Aldridge. Back to Mills. Will it go? Portland again missing.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time. And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just a great ball move. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Here's Aldridge. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Aldridge has got his first points of the game.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
There's Dragic with the three, but they recover it. Gets it to go. That one good from Adebayo.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Floats one, and with that, the Heat lead is cut to just 7 points in the basket from Lillard.
I like seeing Lillard go to the floater. He has such a soft release and touch on this shot.
Dragic against Lillard. And here's Dragic. Shoots over Lillard. And so it's Miami heading to the bench with it. All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson, it was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. Nothing seemed to give way on either side. And that does it for our half.
And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. You have to like what we've seen so far from Damian Lillard.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column? Through 2 quarters, he has been terrific.
Yeah, Greg, this game has his fingerprints all over it. Now looking to replicate what he did in the first half.
The high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Aldridge out there with Hood, and it's Henson in at the center.
Star at a mid-major. Shout out to all the mid-major colleges. That blue chip prospect, he should work his way to the top.
Hood can't get it to go.
The D hanging tough and stopping what would normally have been easy layup.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It goes on C.J. McCollum.
Oh, he turns it up. And though Iguodala has become a long-range shooting threat, he still managed to struggle from the line.
Four-year player at Lehigh, McCollum earned his degree in journalism.
Yeah, he had to beg his parents to switch from a business major. But now he's putting his degree to use. He already interviewed the commissioner, man. Keep playing. He's trying to come for my job, Kevin. When his playing days are done, though, I'm sure he'll be looking to try to take my job and yours and continue on that path.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
You'd like to see a little more energy coming out of halftime on the defensive end.
Gay drives in. Pass to Lillard. That falls. Nice feed that time for McCollum. And that's 12 points for Damian Lillard.
That'll get you a pat on the back from your teammate McCollum. Unselfish and aware, picking out the perfect pass.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
And in a league that's obsessed with threes and layups, Marcus Aldridge defying the trend, really feasting on a steady diet of mid-range jumpers.
And the Heat making a change here. Derek Jones, he's checked in for Adebayo. Olynyk comes in for Rudy Gay. Robinson's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And Hero subbed in for Goran Dragic. And Butler gets it to go.
And how about the perseverance offensively? I mean, following up the missed shot, and that results in second and third opportunities.
And that turnaround jumper of Aldridge's. Greg, just impossible to defend.
Long arms, that high release point. When it's falling, well, we saw him give OKC 56. This man can take over.
And out of bounds as the Trailblazers gain possession. Collins checked in for Portland. Trailblazers trail by 5. Lillard, right side. Fires the jumper from the corner and nails it. Lillard's got 4 this quarter.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, that's why he's hot. He's playing with a lot of confidence. That's why they're going to him with such consistency.
Robinson finds Butler. Clock at 6. Shot from the wing, and it's good off the back rim and in. Butler's got 6.
Oh, this is Butler's bread and butter. At times, he has this on automatic.
Here's Lillard. Rebound by Butler. Butler's got 4 rebounds in this game.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backboard.
Robinson dishes to Butler. Pass to Hero. Three-pointer. Trying to get open is Butler. No good there. Now Portland takes it the other way. Out to the wing. Pass to Lillard. And stolen by Butler. For the finish. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
This guy works hard on defense. Butler, when you're careless around him, he'll make you pay.
Now a timeout called by Portland. And Greg, when you look at the top perimeter defenders in the game today, how high does Jimmy Butler rank on that list?
Look, he's in the top handful, no doubt about it. Multiple all-defense selections. He is a true two-way terror.
And the Trailblazers making a change here. Mills is checked in. Saric passes to Trent. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers.
When the D forgets about him on the perimeter, they're playing with fire. Lucky they don't get burned here.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now. Now, here's Lillard. He's got 14. Will not drop through. That miss puts him at 6 for 10.
2 for 1, probably the way to go.
Yeah, I imagine that's what they're thinking. You have to maximize the possession.
Hero passes to Butler. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Aldridge. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers.
And this has been an outstanding display on the boards, and it's a big part of why they have a lead in this game. Doing the dirty work down low.
And Butler puts up a deep 3. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Heat lead by 9. And we'll be back right after this. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, it's also called making a good read, understanding where everyone is and taking full advantage. Fantastic.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this 4th period holds in store for us. On the court for the Heat, Rudy Gay is out there with Jimmy Butler. And there's Iguodala. Then it's Bam Adebayo. And it's Dragic in at the point. Here's McCollum. Following the score by Miami. Chris, over the last 40 years, a steady decline in offensive rebound. Largely due, I'm guessing, to the concern with transition defense, right?
Definitely. And let's give respect to offensive rebounding that we should have. Whenever you had guys like Rodman, Popeye Jones, guys that used to you'd have nightmares about because they were such great rebounders. Ben Wallace. Well, now it's a little bit different because those guys were playing the 4 position, right? So now at the 4 position, you have to get back on defense because if you're not, guys are shooting threes from Curryland in the 4 position because the game is evolving. So now it is better to get back in transition and trying to get an extra possession for your team. You still want to attack the glass. You just want to make sure you know who's in the game at that time because now you have guys leaking out, getting a quick shot on that other end.
Here's Mills. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there. Mills has got it back down to within single digits for the Trailblazers. Rockets the pass to Butler. Elbow shot. Bucket is good.
Wow, has he flipped the switch at halftime. Much more effective here in the second half.
And the pass to Mills. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. McCollum's got 3 assists now in this one. The Heat leading by 9. Bounce pass from Iguodala. Here's Dragic. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Negotiating concession the league wants from the Players Union. Prospect attendance with the draft combine and team-wide access to player physicals.
Well, this is a tough one because I don't think that a team that is not interested in you should have your physical. And we all know that information is shared, and so it should be genuine in the teams that are truly interested. So I understand agents holding back on that. Medical information is something very serious that just because you have an opportunity to be drafted, your information shouldn't be spread all across the world just because you're at a combine. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but basically you just want a level playing field for everyone. And if we have that, it'll be better for everyone.
The free throw drops for Aldridge. And so he makes both from the line.
Oh, this is a big fella who has no problems at the foul line. I mean, a very smooth touch on the stroke.
Dragic finds Gay. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
His teammates keep getting him the ball in his favorite spots. He's done a lot for his shooting percentage.
That's good from Gay.
And when it comes to athletic small forwards, Gay is the cream of the crop. An aggressive player whose reach really helps him on both offense and defense.
Now here's Mills. Henson the pass to Hood. Inside. The offensive rebound. Here's Aldridge. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the knee.
The first one falls. Lillard's checked in for Patty Mills. So 1 for 2 that time at the strike. And here's Dragic. He'll bring it up for the Heat. Butler on the wing. 1:57 left in the fourth quarter of this one. And Dragic gets it to go on the assist by Butler. Dragic has got the lead up to 14 now for the Heat. The Trailblazers have gone
The NBA 2K21 demo is out now, and in this episode, we're jumping right in. Plus, we look back at our best 2K TV moments of 2K20. And first looks at what's coming up in my team for
this, David. Some new ground certainly to look at. Thank you. And now Washington's starting group. Montrezl Harrell is out there with Davis Bertans. Then there's Bradley Beal, and it's Wall, and it's DiVincenzo in at the 2. And for the Grizzlies, LeVert out there with Morant. Then it's Jaren Jackson, and it's Justice Winslow, and it's Turner in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
It's all about the defense right there. Without that level of activity, he probably scores it.
The Grizzlies' coaching search took 2 months. They finally settled on Taylor Jenkins, a former assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Jenkins, with an economics degree from Penn, fits the young academic profile of this Memphis front office. Worked for the Spurs 6 years as an assistant under Mike Budenholzer, who was the coach of the year in 2019. That pedigree helped him get the job.
Now here's Winslow. About a minute played so far here in the first. Shoots from 14. Offensive rebound. And Turner throws it down.
Well, Kevin, you love the determination, right? Miles Turner effectively getting to the window and getting another opportunity.
Wall passes to Harrell. Pass to DiVincenzo. Just 5 on the clock. Washington needs to get a shot off here. Here's Bertans. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Here's Morant. Pass to Jackson. Over Bertans. And there's Jackson on the assist by Morant.
You see the court awareness Morant has. Outstanding at keeping his teammates involved with good looks.
Wall, good.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
Here's Morant following the basket by John Wall. That one's off. He starts the game with a miss.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
That boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
And glad to see John Wall back out there after fighting back from his Achilles injury he suffered in early 2019.
And obviously, Kevin, an Achilles injury is very worrisome for any athlete, but particularly one like John Wall, whose speed is a major part of his game. But boy, he looks good out there, and you hope he avoids any more injuries the rest of his career.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Well, he's attacking, he's forcing the issue, and that's simply stated a terrific play.
So Memphis ends up going with the new group. The Wizards also changing it up. Zubac is checked in for Bertans. Shake Milton comes in for Beal, and it's Napier in for John Wall.
Man, if Clark ever hits that shot with consistency, watch out. That's a game changer.
Here's Napier. Sinks that one from the post.
Well, the touch and the focus. What a pretty move in the lane.
1:27 left to play in the first quarter. Here's Clark. Great D that time from Harrell. And here's Napier. He'll bring it up for the Washington Wizards. Intercepted. Here's Brooks. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And he was 73% from the line a season ago. Average number in that regard. And one issue that has been a trouble spot for the Wizards for years now, outside shooting.
You know what, Greg? Last year they made a real attempt to take more threes. So they do that, but then they finished 4th worst in three-point percentage. That is not a recipe for success. listen, they know they want to be a team that can shoot from deep, but they've got to find more consistency, right?
That one goes. Count it. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, it reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
Here's Clark. There's 37 seconds left in the first quarter. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
You know, one of the biggest issues for the Wizards, obviously, has been their defense. I think part of that comes from not having the kind of rim protectors you need. They haven't been able to stay healthy there. But I think a bigger portion, guys, is simply a lack of effort. Boy, a little shaky from the line, and instead of putting them in front, he's only able to tie it up.
Zubac kicks to Napier. And another shot. And it's Melton with the rebound.
All alone from mid-range. They know he won't miss many of those.
Passes it to Clark. From deep three-point range, and that one released in time, but no good. It's a tie game, and one of the most dangerous scorers in the game. Bradley Beal spoke about.
I think the biggest thing is he's still.
Owen Beal trying to grow as a leader and a star. Has to love that.
Yeah, and Brooks known for developing good relationships with his players. He pushes them, but he gives them a lot of praise as well.
Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And taking a look at the Grizzlies' performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
Well, going to the bench early, they obviously knew what they were doing.
As a coach, I think you get a certain feel for what your team needs, and credit this guy for not waiting around. He went ahead and made the adjustment.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So on the floor for Washington, Napier is out there with White. Then it's Ivica Zubac. Then it's Montrezl Harrell. And it's Milton in at the three, the small forward. And it's the Grizzlies with the ball, following the bucket by the Wizards. Jones, no luck. And here we go. Washington fast break. And the basket by Napier. Napier's got the lead up to 4 now for the Wizards. We've always been wowed by the athleticism in the NBA, but it seems to be becoming even more athletic. And certain guys get it done, Doris, in different ways.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of examples, Kev, of guys who don't have or are not blessed with incredible athleticism, but who have found a way to be successful. Nikola Jokic is a first-team NBA player who plays very much below the rim. And then you look at certain shooters who can affect the game. J.J. Redick, he is impossible to guard because he's one constant stream of movement. So, listen, if you have great skill for your position, without athleticism, you can still find a way to have a job in this NBA.
So Memphis ends up going with the new group, and a new group getting ready for the Wizards. Bertanis, he's checked in for Harrell. Bradley Beal comes in for Shake Milton. John Wall's checked in for White. And Smith subbed in for Napier. Now here's Winslow. No points in the game yet for him. LeVert the pass to Jackson.
The Grizzlies have been a winning team for most of the last decade. Injuries snapped their playoff streak back in 18, but the silver lining, a top draft pick they used to select Jaren Jackson.
Smith the pass to Zubac. Kicks it to Wall. Grizzlies with the rebound.
Boy, that's one he wishes he could have back, especially against soft defense.
There's Winslow, and the dunk by Winslow.
And we've seen several lead changes tonight. Neither team giving an inch.
And right now you love the chess match, right? The ability of each side to adjust to what the other is doing.
Now, here's Zubac. Smith dishes the Wall. Shoots over LeVert. Miss. And in his rookie season, Jaren Jackson, the youngest player in the league, he seemed NBA ready.
And already he impacts the game on both ends of the floor. A ton of upside with this young man. He's already helping the Grizz win games.
Shots good by Turner.
Miles Turner covered tightly, but nonetheless scores it. That is well done.
Wall passes to Beal. And just miss after miss right now.
And you know, you can't impact a shot that close any better than he did on that possession.
Boy, whether he blocks it or simply alters it, the result is pretty much the same.
1:32 left to play here in the second quarter. Guys are looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Washington calls timeout.
And last year, a bit of a pivot for Justice Winslow in terms of his game. Found one of the better ways he could contribute to the team is through his developing playmaking skills.
Dante DiVincenzo. He's checked in for Ish Smith. And with that shot, the Grizzly lead is cut down now to just 4 points with the basket from John Wall. Memphis with the ball. They've outscored him 10 points to 2 during this run. Morant kicks to Turner. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Shot clock at 6. They get it again. Jackson. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Here's Beal. Here's Zubac. Another shot. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to be on Miles Turner.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
And the Grizzlies with some changes. Clark, he's checked in for Jaren Jackson. Dylan Brooks comes in for Karis LeVert. And Jones subbed in for Morant. Then for the Wizards, Harrell comes in for Davis Bertans. And Shabazz Napier subbed in for John Wall. Now here's Winslow. Back to Brooks. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Here's Clark. Shoots over Zubac. And it's Bradley Beal with the rebound. Takes a 3. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Grizzlies out in front as they end the second quarter on a 12-4 run. And a chip. Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello. For the Grizzlies, the first quarter was pretty even. Nothing seemed to give way on either side.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Nice game. Great performance by Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that the league can do to slow him down. He's just that good.
Well, perhaps the most impressive thing has been his incredible consistency. This guy is a great player who always brings a ton of energy. What a great half.
We've got Morant. Jackson is out there with Miles Turner. Then there's Karis LeVert. And it's Winslow in at the 3. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis.
And going up strong inside demonstrates confidence. Morant not afraid to get physical.
And purely from a physical standpoint, John Morant has it all. The height, the long arms, the frame to put on more weight. And few players are more explosive athletically.
Now here's LeVert. He's still scoreless so far in this one. The shot by Turner no good. Wizards trail by 5. And with Morant, you not only get the physical attributes, Greg, you get the mental toughness and awareness.
Yeah, this kid loves to compete. The bigger the game, the bigger he plays. I think we're looking at a potential all-NBA performer when it's all said and done.
Lays it up off the glass. Morant's got 5 points so far.
And how about the body control? Morant, even when under duress, stays calm, cool, and collected.
DiVincenzo can't hit it. Memphis leading by 5. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. And here's Morant. He's got 5. Over the wall. And it's Morant missing. And so it's Beal. He'll bring it up for the Wizards. Since the second half started, they've only given up 3 points.
This is an important aspect of John Wall's overall skill set. That ability to be effective in the mid-range, important.
Morant passes to LeVert. To the inside. Jackson. That's good. And it's LeVert with the assist. 8 points for him.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
All taking his time here. There's the pass to Beal. A three-pointer, no good.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Just can't find a shot. It's no wonder they're losing. I mean, he's been completely scoreless all night.
Pass to Morant. Back to LeVert. On deep. Rebound, Washington. Harrell's got his 5th rebound in this one. Greg, a new look roster for the Grizzlies. They got a lot more athletic this past summer.
Well, John Morant and Brandon Clark, their first-round picks, 2 of the more explosive players in the draft. The Grizzlies last in the league in pace last season. They may have cause to accelerate that tempo this year.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis.
Well, for Washington, D.C. basketball, they have 1 title to their name. The champs back in '78.
What a run that was for that team led by the great Wes Unseld. But boy, in the 40 years since that title, my goodness, fans of this franchise have waited so patiently for that return to greatness. When will it come?
The Grizzlies have gone 6 of 8 from the free throw line tonight.
And last season, 77% from the line. They could usually get the job done there.
First one falls for him. And both free throws good for Brooks.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
Pass to Smith. 1:06 left in the third quarter of the game. Harrell, that's good.
And that tells the tale here today, guys. Throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and finish.
Passes it to Clark. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell.
The potential is there. For Clark, it's about expanding the range so that it makes him more versatile offensively.
He's perfect from the line this time.
Well, Scott Brooks now in his 4th year as coach of the Wizards, and it's been a bit of a mixed bag for him so far in his tenure in the D.C. area. And think about it, guys, under the gun now because the GM who hired him was now let go.
Brooks kicks to Jones. Here's Clark. He's defended by Harrell. Clark, the pass to Brooks. Back to Clark. You can't get that one. Great D that time from Harrell. Loads it up there for Harrell. Hammers the alley-oop through.
And maybe that'll trigger them. Impossible not to get pumped up after that.
Yeah, well, you can see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are pumped up. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. It's the Grizzlies up by 5. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return. And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the fourth quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. Wizards trail by 5. Fourth quarter on the court for the Wizards. We've got Montrezl Harrell. White is out there with Napier. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Milton in at the small forward position. And the dunk by Zubac.
Good to see a player going all out when the game's this tight.
You know, G.A., he knows what his job is. Patrol the offensive glass.
And that's so demoralizing to your opponent. To play great defense and have the possession end that way, that's tough to take.
And out of bounds as the Wizards gain possession. And Memphis making a change here. Jackson's checked in. Washington shooting reasonably well, 45%. Napier passes to Harrell. Now here's White. Now Harrell. 5 on the clock. To tie it up. And it's White missing. And now the Grizzlies. Fast break. Jones is running. Melton's shot is good. Melton's got his first 2 points.
Unselfishness can be infectious. Terrific teamwork.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over.
I think DeAnthony Melton deserves a ton of credit. Point guard is probably the toughest position in the league. And you couple that with the fact that this guy played in the West, he more than held his own.
Justice Winslow, he's checked in for Memphis. Morant comes in for Tyus Jones. And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. Bertanis, he's checked in for Montrezl Harrell. Bradley Beal comes in for Shake Milton. Dante DiVincenzo, he's checked in for White. And John Wall subbed in for Napier. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
During that break, Kevin, I heard what Scott Brooks said to his team. He said, this is where we make our move. This game's going to come down to big plays. Whichever team makes it is going to come out of here with the win. Kevin, you know what side he's on.
And although Milton may not have proven he deserves a starting role, Boris, he did show his value as a player.
I think what Milton showed is that he has the ability to stay composed and play quality defense, even as a backup option at the point. That's all you can ask for. You want him to earn rotation minutes, and he did.
Some changes for Memphis. Turner's checked in for Clark, and Karis LeVert subbed in for Brooks. Morant with it. Wall with a block.
You see the wingspan and the timing by John Wall. What a defensive effort.
And so it's Memphis with it. It's a 3-point game. Clock is at 3. Here's LeVert. It's hauled in by Zubac. Zubac has got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Beal can't get it to go.
I'll tell you, it feels all night like this guy's been forcing shots, rushing shots. He's really struggling on the offensive end.
There's Winslow. He can't get it to go. Now Washington takes it the other way. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
And it didn't fall, but that's the kind of shot they want their offense to create.
You know, it can be frustrating when you make the right play and fail to reap the rewards. You just have to stay with it here.
Jackson, good, and the nice assist from Winslow. Winslow's got 3 assists now in this one. Washington calls timeout. They're trailing by 5. 1:58 left here in the fourth quarter. And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight, just amazing. He hadn't just been gunning. He's been picking his spots, and you need that kind of patience and discipline to shoot as well as he had.
And the Wizards making a change here. Harrell's checked in. The pass to DiVincenzo. Here's Bertanis. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
Man,
That's about the worst defense I can imagine a team playing coming down the stretch.
You know, we talk about execution offensively coming down the stretch. To me, it's as important defensively, and they didn't have it.
And the shot goes in. 14 points for Jaren Jackson.
Boy, you can really see the playmaking evolving. When Karis LeVert is hitting wide-open teammates, it shows how special he can be.
Out left to the wing. No one near Wall as he lets it go. Drains the three-pointer.
That's one of those clutch shots he's known for. When the pressure is high, he seems to be the most locked in.
Here's LeVert. The shot misses. Great D that time from Harrell. Here's the teardrop. Good! And tie game. That is a huge basket right there.
And that one sends the bench into a frenzy.
I'll tell you, these guys have worked so hard together. Everyone pulling in the same direction. Beautiful to watch.
Now here's Morant. Back to Jackson. Turner trying to free himself up. It's in!
Terrific dime there. Morant realizing his responsibility to share the wealth with his teammates.
Absolutely critical chance right here.
They need this one to go their way.
Washington calls timeout. They're down by 2. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter. On defense, the Grizzlies. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Beal, the pass to DiVincenzo. Count it!
And they do have a foul to give.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're trailing by 1. There's 18 seconds left in the game. There's 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And here's LeVert. To the wing on the left. Here's Morant. Right between the eyes.
And going back to college, Morant's made a habit of rising to the occasion.
So a close game sees Memphis take this one. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
I mean, these are those games.